Hi, occupational therapy students. My name's Stephanie, and I'm the founder of Pass the OT. And a lot of students think that the correct answer is C, and I'm going to tell you why it is incorrect. Some students find that musculoskeletal conditions and interventions are really difficult. So we're going to try to break it down, simplify it, and make it easier for you to understand. So when you're coming across a question that is lengthy or has a lot of parts, think of these 6 simple steps. Read with diligence and patience before answering. So we always want to read the question carefully. So here's the question. Randall, a construction worker, is receiving treatment for a low-level ulnar nerve lesion, which he acquired due to repetitive trauma from using a jackhammer. Randall complains of numbness, tingling, and paresthesia along the sensory distribution of the ulnar nerve, and his hand is starting to develop a claw hand deformity. The hand therapist decides to fit Randall with a dynamic mobilizing splint during the day and a mobilizing static splint in the evening. What is the best protocol to follow when fabricating splints for this patient? So in step 2, we want to think about where we are in the OT process. So this is definitely in the intervention stages. So in step 3, we want to pay attention to the disease and diagnosis. And this is a low-level ulnar nerve lesion. The patient has a good prognosis and they can heal with treatment. In step 4, what is the patient's problem or function, or what are their symptoms? So this patient is experiencing numbness, tingling, and paresthesia along the sensory distribution of the ulnar nerve, and they're starting to develop a claw hand deformity. So now in step 5, we want to pay attention to what's in bold or in caps or what says next. So in this it says the best protocol to follow when fabricating splints, the dynamic mobilizing and immobilizing static splint for this patient. So now let's get to the answer choices for step 6. So let's read the answer choices slowly and carefully. A, position 4th and 5th digits in 30 to 45 degrees of MCP flexion, finger loops with rubber traction attached to the 4th and 5th digits, proximal phalanges, and monitor areas of decreased sensation for pressure sores. B, thumb opposition and palmar abduction, all digits 45 degrees flexion, and elbow in 30 to 40 degrees of flexion, and monitor areas of decreased sensation for pressure sores. C, dorsal base using tendinosis position with the MCP joints in dynamic extension, and monitor areas of decreased sensation for pressure sores. D, position the 4th and 5th digits in 30 to 45 degrees of MCP flexion, thumb in radial abduction, finger loops to the 4th and 5th digits with traction to the distal phalanges, and monitor areas of decreased sensation for pressure sores. So the incorrect answers are B, C, and D. B is incorrect because this position is for fabricating a splint for a patient with a median nerve injury involving the thumb. C is incorrect because it involves positioning and fabrication of a splint for a patient with a radial nerve lesion. And D is incorrect because this is an incorrect protocol to follow for low-level nerve lesion. Therefore, the correct answer is A. We want to position the 4th and 5th digits in 30 to 45 degrees of MCP flexion, finger loops with rubber traction, and attached to the 4th and 5th digits, proximal phalanges, and monitor areas of decreased sensation for pressure sores. In this way, the claw hand posture is corrected for MCP hyperextension and PIP flexion. With the MCPs blocked in flexion, the extensor digitorum communis transfers to the IP joints so that the joints can extend given poor activation of the intrinsic muscles. The splint will facilitate the functional grasp of the patient. I wanted to remind you that the Pass the OT program is set up holistically to keep you organized, build your confidence, and assist you with studying smarter and being more prepared for the actual NBCOT exam.